Hi everyone, today we will be starting our David Hockney inspired landscapes. A landscape is a picture of land. So we will be making a picture of some land with different sections colored in with bright colors and patterns on top. First, today we're going to be drawing our landscapes, and then we will be adding color next time, and then after that we will be adding patterns on the very top layer. What's important today to remember is that we need to focus on foreground, which is the area of the picture down at the bottom that's closest to us, middle ground, which is the area in the middle of the paper, and background, which is all the way at the top, farthest away from us. So imagine that you're looking at this scene in nature, and you notice that these trees are, do you think that these trees are closer or farther away from us? And how do you know that? Right, so we think that they might be closer to us because we see that they are larger. Okay, and then these trees, if we compare the three sizes of trees, we see these are the largest here. These on this kind of row are medium-sized trees. So those might be a little bit behind, farther away than these. And then these are the smallest ones. So those are going to be the farthest away from us. Okay, so foreground is closest, near the bottom. Middle ground is a medium, middle length away from us, in the middle of the page. And background is going to be all the way at the top, furthest away from us. So the trees there are going to be the smallest. Okay. So I have these instructions for you, and these are instructions that you can use and adapt to your liking. And so you're going to be adding your own creative twist to them. These are basic instructions. You can follow them exactly as you see them if this is what you want, but you can change things up a little bit. And as I go, I'll kind of explain some options that you might want to consider. But the first one, everyone's going to start with this line across near the top of the page, all the way across horizontally, is called a horizon line. The horizon is where, when you look at far distances, you see that the sky meets the ground. And that line, like imagine being in a desert and you see a bunch of sand going across, and when you look all the way farthest away, when you see that sky, it's going to be coming down, touching the ground at that point in how we are seeing it. So this line across, that's our first step. So I have my paper. I make sure that I have my name and my class code on the back, right? And I turn it over. Okay, and then I'm going to draw my horizon line. This does not need to be a perfectly straight line. Our Earth is not perfectly straight anywhere, basically, so don't worry about it. But it does need to be near the top of the page. Not like this high, but maybe down here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a horizon line right there. Okay, and number 2, it says draw a dot anywhere along your horizon line. In my instructions, I have the dot over near the right side, and that is what I did for this drawing here. So this is where that dot is ending up being. For this next one, since I have a different example with one on the right, maybe I will do my horizon line, or my dot on my horizon line over here for this example. Okay, now number 3. Draw 2 dots at the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to draw 2 dots somewhere on the bottom edge, maybe right here and right here. Okay, and now it says draw curvy lines connecting the dots with the top dot. So I'm going to be connecting this dot to the top dot and this dot to the top dot with a curvy line. This can be considered like maybe a road or a path in our landscape. And as we go farther away, the path gets smaller and smaller. All right. Number 5, draw large overlapping trees at the bottom of the page. So that's going to be in the foreground. We're going to draw trees that overlap, and that's going to show space. So we're thinking about creating space and depth in our drawing. And so if I overlap, that's going to show one is in front of another. So I could start with the trees are over here in this example. I'm going to draw some over here. I have some more space. Maybe I'll do one over here. So I'm going to draw some larger trees. Now in this example, I just drew like 2 lines for the trunk, and then this was like a evergreen tree or something. So I did a horizontal line right there, almost like a triangle with kind of curvy lines coming up. In this example, I decided to do 2 straight lines for the trunks and then almost like cloud shapes for the tree. This is one of your options where you can get creative and add your own twist to it. So if you would prefer to have some other type of object that's going to be big, medium, and small as you move back, you can do that. If you want it to be like houses, for example, a few houses in your landscape, you can make large houses up front, medium houses in the middle ground, and small houses near the horizon line in the background. Maybe I'll do a few examples like that. Maybe it'll be, yeah, okay. And I don't want to get too detailed because when we color these in, we're going to be using paint sticks, and you can't get really small with paint sticks. And then overlapping means one is going to go behind another. Keeping it simple. Something like that. All right, and then maybe there's one building over here that we see some going off the page. Okay. Now it says draw a middle ground line and then draw medium-sized trees or whatever it is that you chose along it. So that will be somewhere in the middle. A middle ground could be right here. And as I get to the houses, I'm stopping and starting again on the other side to continue it. So it looks like the houses are in front of that line. And now along this line, I can draw medium-sized trees, houses, whatever it is that you chose. So okay. Now it says number 7, draw tiny trees or houses or whatever on the horizon to make them look far away. So in this example, I have tiny little evergreen trees. Up here, I'm going to draw some very small looking houses because these houses are very far away, right? So if I have my finger close to the camera, it looks very large, just taking up the whole space. If I get farther away, it's medium size. If I get all the way down here, it's only taking up a small part of the page or of the camera, right? So as we move away, things get smaller. As the houses move back in space, they appear smaller to us. Maybe I want to have trees with houses. So maybe back here, I'm going to have a few trees as well. But I'm going to make them proportionate. That means they're going to be small compared to the house. They're going to look, you know, as they would, like maybe a little bit bigger than the house, but not too much bigger. Okay. Number 8, break each section with patterns of lines. So in the middle ground, I can break that up into bigger shapes. And down here, I can break it up too. And then later when we go to add our color, we're going to add a background color plus then on top patterns. So I'm going to add just a few lines, maybe from the background, the horizon line down to the middle ground. They can be curved, straight, whatever you prefer. And then down here, I can bring some lines. There's not much that room now. There we go. So now I have a basic outline of my landscape. And next time I come, I will be adding color to it with paint sticks. And after that, I will be adding details with acrylic paint pens on the top patterns. So this is your goal today. Go through the instructions, foreground, middle ground, background. All right, have fun.